19 years. It literally took 19 years for Nintendo to give us a mainline Metroid title. Sure, we've had the Metroid Prime trilogy, we've had the pinball spinoff, we've had Metroid Prime Hunters, we've had Other M, which is a game I enjoyed and a lot of people hated. But we had everything, including remakes of Metroid 1 and 2. But we haven't progressed the story past 2002's Metroid Fusion. Until now. Metroid Dread in 2021 is the game of the year. Let's get into it. Before we kick this video off, I want to just say that, man, 19 years is a long time. 2002 doesn't even seem like it was that long ago, at least for me, but I already know that's in that time span, a lot of people were born and graduated high school, which is absolutely insane when I think about it. I'm like, wow, that much time has passed. I actually remember 2002 like it was the other day. I remember that was the year that I got my Xbox and PlayStation 2. That was the year that I was just game crazy. Like literally, I had that whole summer to just do nothing but game, and I went all in. And it was insane. And to think that was the year that we got Metroid Prime and Metroid Fusion, and only one of those was the mainline entry, and a lot of people have thought it's the Prime series, and it's actually Fusion. The 2D games are the mainline series. And yeah, I remember that summer very well. I remember 2004 when we got Metroid Zero Mission, which I love that one more because it wasn't as linear and straightforward as Metroid Fusion was. And that's something that I know a lot of people going into Metroid Dread were kind of concerned about. Was it going to be as linear as Fusion since it picks up right after Fusion? No. This is on some Metroid Zero Mission and Super Metroid levels of open exploration. And you can pretty much break the game and get power-ups as soon as you want if you're good enough to do a bunch of game-breaking things. But anyway, we're here to talk about the review for Metroid Dread for Nintendo Switch. I'm going to tell you what I like, what I didn't like, the ups and downs, and everything in between. And before we do all that, make sure you sub to the channel, ding the notification bell, that way you stay up to date on all the latest and greatest content that comes from this channel. And also, if you want to pick up this game, I have an affiliate link down below. It's just quick and easy. You can hop in and get it and go from there. And if you want to support what we do have merch on Teespring and TeePublic, as well as Patreon and channel memberships. So all that being said, let's go ahead and get into this review of Metroid Dread, a review that's 19 years in the making. Story. Following immediately after the events of 2002's Metroid Fusion and Samus's battle against the X-Parasites, the Galactic Federation received intel from an unknown source that suggests that the X-Parasites survived the destruction of SR-388. Hoping to capture and utilize them as bioweapons, the Federation dispatched 7 EMI units, or ME robot units, out to investigate planet ZDR. Not long after their arrival, the units all mysteriously vanished, and in panic, the Federation sends in Samus to investigate if the X-Parasites still exist, as she is the only living being in the universe with an immunity to them. Upon arriving on ZDR, Samus encounters a living Chozo who ends up attacking her and stealing her abilities, leaving her near defenseless. What was the reason for the disappearance of the EMMI? Why did the Chozo warrior attack Samus? The truth lies deep within planet ZDR. Gameplay. Metroid Dread makes you immediately feel dread upon starting the game, since you have little to no powers and your defensive options are limited to your arm cannon, counter ability, and your wits in order to survive the threats that are looming. As the game progresses, you'll fight innumerable enemies, explore vast locations, gather old and new power-ups and suits, and uncover the mystery of Planet ZDR. All the promotional material for Metroid Dread have emphasized the series' horror roots of feeling alone and outnumbered. The new enemy that you encounter is called the EMMI, also known as the Extraplanetary Multiform Mobile Identifier, and it will stalk you without yield until you either escape it, which it does have limited range and where it will stalk you, counter being captured by it, or it kills Samus upon capture. These sections shift between being horror, stealth, and platforming, all to evade the enemy. The enemy are initially indestructible and impervious to damage and can cause you to panic trying to figure out how to take them down, even though you can technically counter them when they grab you. The window of opportunity for that is incredibly slim, so it'd be best to just run away from them. Eventually, you will gain power-ups such as the Omega Cannon that will give you the ability to take them down one by one until you take down all 6 Emmy. Taking down the Emmy is like taking down a Big Daddy in Bioshock, and I honestly couldn't get enough of it. Dread gives you the traditional gameplay loop of the franchise where you explore and collect items and power-ups that will grant you access to new and previously inaccessible areas. Dread goes on to expand the formula in nearly every way by giving you the literal plan of Planet ZDR to explore with its incredibly diverse array of environments and mass variety of collectibles and power-ups to seek out and discover. Coming back to previously explored areas with new abilities and power-ups is always intoxicating, as you feel unstoppable in taking down foes that previously gave you difficulties and being able to reach areas that were inaccessible. Boss battles are some of the game's best moments, with them being challenging to the point of being almost like a puzzle needing to be solved and not a bullet sponge, as you'll need to learn their patterns, the environments, and your newfound powers to topple them. When you get to the end of the game, you will be an unstoppable juggernaut, and you have every right to be this powerful with all you've had to deal with leading to that point. You may have the question of, do I need to have played the other games to enjoy this one? And the answer is no, because the game recaps quite a lot and lets you just enjoy this game as a starting point. If you played the previous games, then Dread rewards you for having done so with the numerous callbacks and references it gives you to Other M, Fusion, the Prime Trilogy, Samus Returns, Super Metroid, and Zero Mission. When you reach the end of the game, there's a shocking reveal that will complicate things and give more insight into Samus' origins, which basically ties into what you saw at the end of Samus Returns. Graphics. This is hands down the most beautiful game that is on the Nintendo Switch. Mercury's team were able to basically produce a next-generation looking game on the Switch, which is something that continues to baffle me about other developers and their half-hearted attempts at ports and other original games on the system that run super roughly. Samus has never looked this good before in a Metroid title, as her armor looks stunning. The enemies' environments are all mesmerizing to look at as they are so detailed and vivid. Bosses are the absolute best that they've ever looked in this game than they ever have in the franchise. Performance-wise, the game runs at a consistent 60 frames per second at 900p docked and 720p 60 frames per second in handheld mode, and then toggles down to 30 frames per second for a few close-ups and cutscenes. It's very few and far between, so you don't have to really worry about it, and the way the game smoothly switches between the two frame rates is astounding. Downsides. Honestly, the only downside to this game is gaming publications promoting people to pirate the game and play it on an emulator and run it at 4K instead of telling people to purchase it so that we can let Nintendo know that we want more Metroid, especially when the series doesn't sell well to begin with. Oh, you mean the game? What flaws does the game have? Doesn't have any flaws. This game is perfect for a Metroid title. The wrap-up. It took 19 years to finally get another mainline Metroid game, and it's damn good. Is it better than Super Metroid? That's up to you to decide, as I feel this rivals it greatly and exceeds it in many ways. Yet if we had to make a decision on which is better, then you know what? I'm going to be perfectly fine sitting on the fence right this. My ass is going to get sore from sitting on the fence of between Super Metroid and this, because it's just not happening. I'm not choosing. I want both. I'll take them all. I'll take all of it. Metroid Dread has incredible controls, the most beautiful graphics on the Nintendo Switch, an amazing story, and tremendous replay value, and it's just a game that you need in your collection. Metroid is back. The verdict? Buy it. And that's it. That wraps up the review for Metroid Dread. Man, this game is so amazing. Like I said, 19 years in the making. I've waited since 2002 for a follow-up to Metroid Fusion. We've gotten the start and ending, well, quasi-ending, because we're getting a fourth entry in the Metroid Prime series. We've got spin-offs. We've got Federation Force, Other M, Samus Returns, the remake, Zero Mission, and yeah, this right here. This is worth the wait. And I'm hoping the next game, because there will be a next game, does not take 19 years to make. Nintendo, we want more Metroid. Honestly, if I'm being completely frank, and I'm being Frank Casanova here, I personally feel that there should not have been any other game in the month of October but Metroid. I understand why Nintendo did it, because there wasn't certainty that people were going to buy Metroid Dread, but I would actually at this point, well, I mean, it doesn't matter at this point, but I would have delayed it to November and gave them a November game outside of, Shin Megami Tensei, or even pushed it back to December. And there you go. Mario Party can be a Christmas game. But anyways, what do you guys think of Metroid Dread? Do you have it? Did you get the special edition? Are you enjoying it? Whatever your thoughts are, let's get the conversation going in the comment section below. And if you want to take the conversation further, we do have Discord as well as Guilded, with links for those in the description below. I will have an affiliate link, that way you can pick up the game. And if you want to support what we do further, we do have channel memberships, Patreon, merch on Teespring and TeePublic, and so much more. So with that being said, I'm Mekel Kasanova. I'm signing out. Deuces wild, too sweet, be the elite. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Mahalo for making it to the end of the video. And if you found anything of importance or substance that you gained from watching this, make sure you leave a comment down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, make sure you sub to the channel and ding the notification bell. That way you stay up to date on all the content that you get from my channel, from podcasts, streams, reviews, impressions, reactions, and so much more. If you want to support what we do have channel memberships. We've got Patreon, we've got Subscribe Star, as well as coffee, which I would love to be drinking some coffee right now, which I am. That's some good coffee. But anyway, we got all of that, and we also have merch on Teespring and TeePublic, so make sure you go check that out. And all that being said, I just hope to see you in the next video that I put out. So hey, see you around.